Welcome, week 4. We're on the back end now. Things are definitely getting a little bit more challenging, but hopefully you're starting to see some results and noticing a little bit of improvement in your strength and stability. This week we've got some new exercises and definitely more challenging as well. So stay tuned for this week's update.
Okay, so our suggested routine this week is going to be exactly the same as last week, with our 3 strengthening days and the 2 stability and plyo days, mixing in some skills training and rest where you feel you need to. So yeah, let's get into the exercises. So our leg and core day is obviously very similar to last time. Our most notable difference is adding in some resistance with the weight for a few of the exercises. I'd like to reiterate also, if you feel like you're not up to the point where you are able to progress as we've suggested, that's perfectly fine, and feel free to take your time and just work through at your own pace.
Okay, back again, trusty backpack we have. We're going to be doing some reverse lunges with the weight now. So Locke, if you want to show it, that's it, just having that nice controlled fashion, one leg at a time. Because we've added in the weight, we're going to reduce the amount of reps that we're doing, but doing the same amount on each side. If you notice you're a little bit stronger on one side, just match it, whatever the weaker side is, match that with the stronger side so that things even up as you go on.
Okay, so after our lunges, we're going to be doing our Nordic curls again for our hamstrings. We're going to increase the amount of reps to 6, so just one more rep. Just because it's a high demanding exercise, we're just going to be making some small changes to this one. Similar to with the reverse Nordic curl, which will be supersetting with the normal Nordic, obviously for the quadriceps. Same thing, we're going to just be going for 6 reps per set. Okay, and following that superset, we're going to be starting our next one with some straight knee calf raises. Again, just without any weight, but going for 20 reps this time around.
Alright guys, here we are for our dead bug progression. So this becomes a bit more challenging now. We're adding in a bit of an upper body component to it. So Locke will show us, so getting in that dead bug position, so turning on those posterior pelvic tilt muscles, getting that lower back nice and flat against the ground. Legs are going to be up in the air, and our hands are going to be up in the air as well. So maybe just have it a bit more at 90 degrees there, straight up, that's it. We're going to be alternating the arm and leg coming down to the floor, that's it, and then slowly back, and then changing sides. Whilst we're doing this, we're keeping our lower back nice and tight against the ground. Perfect.
Okay, so our last exercise cluster is going to begin with our bent knee calf raises with the backpack and weight again. We're just doing it essentially the same as you would have done it on the full body exercise day last week, going for 3 sets of 12 of that. We'll be supersetting that one with our Russian twist, which we'll go through now.
Alrighty guys, so next up we have a progression of the Russian twist. We're going to be using a nice little clinically oriented anatomy that works quite well. It's nice and heavy. So Locke's going to assume the position. We're going to be holding the book out in front with those legs up. That's it. Twisting. If you can, try and get the book to touch the ground. That'll make it even more challenging. Perfect. Keeping that nice posture of the back as we're doing it. Working those oblique muscles, so helping to reduce the risk of any injury involving twisting forces.
Okay, so our upper body day, as you can see, is going to be very similar to what we did last week. We're mainly just making changes to the amount of repetitions we're doing per set. We're also just going to make a tweak to our dip exercise just to make it a little bit more intense, which we'll go through at the end. Okay, so our first exercise is going to be the bag overhead press again. Using the same weight that you used last week, you're going to be going for 15 repetitions. After that, we're going to be going into some clap push-ups. Again, only progress if you feel like you're able to maintain your technique all the way through to the 20 reps allocated. Our third exercise is going to be our bag-weighted bicep curl. Again, using the same weight as last week, going for 15 repetitions. Similarly, with the bent over bag row, it's going to be the same thing. So 15 reps of that with the same weight as last week.
So next up we have the dip exercise, but we're going to add in another bench, a chair, a lounge to have our feet up to make it a bit more challenging. So Locke's going to show it for us. That's it. Perfect. So keeping our torso nice and upright and just bending at our elbows, going nice and controlled. Perfect.
And lastly, we have our pull-ups again if you have access to it. We want to be trying to do at least one more repetition per set compared to last week if you can, and hopefully as you go on you notice you are getting stronger and you are able to do more repetitions each week. Okay, and the last of our strength days is going to be the full body exercise workout. Again, we're going to be starting with our Bulgarian split squats with a weight, going for 12 repetitions this time around. After that, we're going to be supersetting with our push-ups with a weight, going for 20 reps this time. Our second exercise cluster is going to begin with the single leg hamstring bridges. We're going to go for 15 repetitions on each leg if we can. And we'll be supersetting that with a new variation of the side plank, which we'll go through now.
Alrighty, so our next side plank progression is going to be adding in some hip abduction as we do it. So basically our top leg's just going to be coming out, and that way we're going to be working overall stability of our hips. So Lachlan, you want to show it for us? So keeping our torso nice and straight as we do it, that top knee we're going to keep bent, and that's it, coming up nice and high, keeping your hips up as you do it. Try not to have too much of a bend in that top knee either. Keep it nice and straight, and don't let it come too far forward, otherwise you're going to get too much of your hip flexor involved. We want to try and focus this purely on our glutes.
Okay, and following on from the side plank and hamstring bridges, we're going to be doing our bent over bag row. So taking that from our upper body day, going for 15 repetitions with the same amount of weight, and we'll be supersetting that with our front plank up and downs, which we'll go through now.
Alrighty, so next up for our front plank progression, we're going to be doing some front plank up and down. So I'm just going to show it. We're just going to be coming up onto a tall plank position and then back down to a regular plank. So we're going to try and go 10 going with our left leg, our left arm coming up first, and then 10 with the right arm coming up first. So you'll feel this straight away through those core muscles, and it's quite a challenging progression.
Okay, and last of all, we have our bent knee calf raises again, using the backpack with the weight and going for 15 repetitions on each leg. Okay, so our stability and plyo exercises for week 4 are going to be fairly similar to last week, particularly our stability ones. We're not changing those, just increasing the amount of reps we're doing with that TheraBand rotation balance, trying to do 15 of those, and if you can, ideally trying to do 15 in a row without losing balance. So that's a good goal to work towards for that. We'll show you the other progressions now.
So next up we have the broad jump bounce. So instead of last week where we're sticking the landing, the idea of this one is to react quickly and explode again and use that momentum to be able to propel yourself further. So Lot's going to show three of them for us now. In the program, we ideally want to be doing 4. So give it a shot, mate.
So after those broad jump bounds, we're going to be doing our multi-directional hops again, just keeping things the same, just working on getting some good balance and control with your landing. Similar to the TheraBand rotation, try and work on that goal of doing your 5 reps without losing your balance.
Alrighty, so next up we have the triple leg hop for distance. So similar to the broad jump bounds, we're going to be doing bang, 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 getting that explosiveness happening. So Lach will show it for us. Perfect.
Alright guys, that's week 4 done. Hope you're all still with us and enjoying it. As always, if you have any questions, shoot us a message, leave a comment, or feel free to give us a call. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you for next week's update.